I've said it before and I'll say it 1,000 more times, but the greatest strength of the rhythm genre is its simplicity. Pistol Whip is no exception. You shoot baddies on the beat. But there's a lot more going on under the hood in terms of level design, so while the gameplay is as simple as can be, creating custom levels is way harder than it sounds. To quote Dylan, a commenter on a modding guide for Pistol Whip, "I'm looking at these steps and they gave me a stroke." And that's a real shame because custom levels are the main reason I even play rhythm games, so Cloudhead Games would have to introduce levels or mechanics that were pretty darn interesting to hold my attention. Suffice it to say, by the title of this video, they knocked it out of the park. This dev team has been turning up the heat with every update they put out. High Priestess, Akuma, Full Throttle, Dark Skies, and Religion were fantastic additions that all brought their own unique aesthetic to the game while retaining that pulsing, rough polygonal look that we know and love. The Heartbreaker trilogy brought 3 levels that had more color than a bag of Skittles and a smoother, more relaxed musical style to seal the deal. All these levels are what pushed the game from good to great, but in retrospect they all felt like practice for the next update, which made a great game fantastic. A full cinematic campaign, 2089. Normally including a story in a rhythm game more complex than some cute shapes would be pretty jarring. Imagine Osu or Beat Saber trying to add context to their deliberately abstract visual styles. Pistol Whip has always contextualized its levels as scenes in a movie, so the transition from flavor text to a full-fledged plot feels way more natural. Of course, it also helps that the plot is still incredibly simple. You're a space guy who crashed on a Terminator world, so you blast robots and spout cool one-liners.
It's time to ditch this junkyard.
That's really it, and that's all it needs to be. But underneath all this tropey fun, the core gameplay is unchanged. Point, shoot, reload, repeat. That is until level 3, where you get burst fire. I know it sounds super basic, but adding a few extra O's to the point, shoot, reload formula, it essentially adds held notes, and you already know how I feel about those. And if that wasn't enough, it ends with an actual boss in the form of a helicopter that you can pump clip after clip at while it swoops and strafes all across the screen while goons still shoot at you, and it's goddamn spectacular. This campaign made me see the potential hidden in Pistol Whip's overly complex style of level design. If fans can't do the work for you, you have to do the best work you can. So Cloudhead tuned everything about 2089 to a laser's focus instead of making people pay for subpar level designs with cheaper, easier, and simply better alternatives. Like, seriously, here's my favorite level in vanilla Beat Saber. And here's my favorite level in Beat Saber. Here's my favorite level in vanilla Pistol Whip, and here's my favorite level in Pistol Whip. Now you might be thinking to yourself, well, wait just a gosh darn diddly dang ding dong dick, those look like the same level. And that's because they are. You have a good eye. I really respect that about you. You probably also noticed it's not from 2089. Good find. That's because as much as I love 2089, Smoke and Shadow surpasses it in every way. From the very first level, it introduces a pretty significant mechanic, dual wielding. The option was already available as a modifier, but this time the level is explicitly designed around it. 2-shot goons charge you head on, while 1-shots attack in distant pairs. After the first few enemies, assuming you're not a compulsory reloader like I am, you're keyed into the other aspect that sets Smoke and Shadow apart, the tiny clip size. It's the oldest trope in the genre, counting bullets. Did I shoot 6 bullets? Or only 5? There's not even a gameplay reason you have exactly 6 shots, that's just the most iconic number of cylinders revolvers have. But the trope is so widespread, counting your shots feels second nature, which is important when you only have so many of them. Even the dialogue reinforces this. It's kinda obvious the game is trying to teach you something in a non-obtrusive way, but these campaigns are already cheesier than Wisconsin, so something like this doesn't break suspension of disbelief even slightly. And if you want to talk immersion, let me just get this out of the way. Say the line I know you all want to hear. Smoke and Shadow really makes you feel like a Wild West gunslinger. Every single creative decision was done to make you feel the part of the role you play. Your spurs jingling, the slow walk out of a bar, the deliberate cocking of the gun, the slight sigh and a sharp kick leading up to the title card, and a track that just exudes the exaggerated swagger of a gunslinger in their element. You even get a section 1 minute in where I panicked and fanned 2 revolvers at the same time. It was great. And it's followed up by 2 enemies that both take 4 shots to kill, and they're right in your face, so you don't have time to shoot on the beat. The game has established that you have limited shots per clip, and then enforces that by putting you in situations where dying because of 1 misfire is a real possibility. Then it piles on another fun trope, the exploding barrel, the bubble wrap of video games. And handy too, as it demonstrates a single blast instantly takes out 2 4-shot goons. Once again, brilliantly designed way to demonstrate a new mechanic in a non-obtrusive way. And if you can resist the urge to pop these tempting tumblers, you're rewarded with an easy octa-kill. After that, it's all sunshine and bullet holes until you meet up with your horse. And a quick cutscene later, we suddenly throw everything that Pistol Whip used to be straight into the trash can. Single pistol John Wick style of systematically annihilating every threat that comes your way? Gone. Dual wielding double barrel shotguns with a sick catapult design and enough power in each shell to destroy any adversary with a single pull of the trigger? Hell yes. This right here is my favorite level in Pistol Whip. Right from the first 3 enemy placements, the game effortlessly makes you aware of the power of your new moveset. From the first pair, the perceptive player would notice that your clips are a lot smaller. This is the game's way of saying, now that you know that counting your shots is important, why don't we up the ante and cut your ammo count from 15 to 6 to 2? Good luck. The next 2 comes with the realization that these guns are a lot more powerful, as you end 2 4-shot goons instantly. And as the icing on the cake, 3 more enemies spawn dead ahead. No matter which one you shoot, even if you shoot 2 at the same time, it's impossible to miss that while these boomsticks have the range of a sniper rifle, they still have as much splash damage as a grenade. So take the single fire fun of the base game and multiply that by 3. There, I just mathematically calculated how fun Smoke and Shadow is. Have you bought the game yet? Yeah? Good, because the rest of the level capitalizes on this harder than Adobe capitalized their users by making every single app a subscription service. This is why our apps are the most pirated in the world. Lord knows it's not because of their features. You ever heard of GIMP? Paint.net? Photopea? An image editor with everything you have but free and even browser-based? God, Adobe sucks. This entire level is a perfectly tuned barrage of bullets, barrels, and blood. Gunmen on horseback, canyon ambushers, firing squads that your twin shotguns make incredibly quick work of. It's all incredible. And the music! Full disclosure, I despise country music in nearly all of its modern iterations, but just as New Vegas tricked me into enjoying classic western, Smoke and Shadow tricked me into enjoying modern western. Like, come on! The next level kicks off with a bit of diegetic tutorial so on the nose I don't even need to say anything, just listen to this.
Damn shields defend against a single blast. Good thing I got 2.
At least the level design here is top notch, with a great balance of claustrophobic mineshafts and wide open spaces for the chorus. But besides the 2-shot goons that give your boomsticks a bit of a nerf, there's nothing else going on that shakes up the formula even more. To be honest, if they did, it'd probably explode. On to the next one, which is a train level. Everyone loves train levels. This one's gotta be good, right? No. Well, to be fair, the level itself is fine. It makes use of the narrow train to make a track that's more dependent on reactions than coordination, which I personally don't like, but the real kicker is the song choice. Not only is it in a British accent, cringe, but it's the most dreadfully repetitive song I've heard in my life. Just look at the lyrics. Mega cringe. Thankfully, not only is the next track an instrumental, it's an original composition. This never happens for Pistol Whip, so this was for sure unexpected, but it more than paid off. The track perfectly fuses the vibes of the Cattlepunk world it presents, with a mix of synths as well as more traditional guitar riffs. And as for gameplay, it's nothing new, but I couldn't be happier about that. This is the final fights, where the game has shown all of its cards and is free to throw everything it has at you, including explosive barrels that you're supposed to shoot, but I instinctually ducked under. Basically take the Robo-Scorpion fight at the end of Old World Blues and make it way cooler. There's even this bit at the end where you're forced to reload super fast for the extra points, and I ended up assuming a quick draw position without even realizing it. I've played a lot of games in my day, but none have manipulated me into having fun quite like Pistol Whip. It's an experience that feels effortlessly satisfying from beginning to end, but must have had a great deal of artistry and love packed into it. Smoke and Shadow feels like the pinnacle of what Pistol Whip is capable of, but at the same time, I said the same thing about 2089 when it released. So yeah, I guess you could say I'm excited for what Cloudhead will do next. If by excited you mean frothing at the mouth waiting to pounce when the next update hits Steam. Adios.